Mara takes the charge of looking after the lake. We have seen floods, we have seen earthquakes, we have seen many natural disasters. Are we able to stop all those? No, it is beyond human capacity, human ability. The visitor comes here asking help from Mara to build a tank in their place. What he gives that all the creatures, lakes should be protected, should be guarded by their generations. This was informed to Mara's son Ganga. Hello everyone again. This is Shobita S. Aradhya, lecturer, Department of English, Vidyashram Pre-University College, Mysuru, the Temple of Excellence. Welcome back to the session of The Watchman of the Lake by R.K. Narayan. Yes, we are in the second session of Watchman of the Lake. In the first session, we saw that we have gone through two scenes, and in the first scene, we see that Mara, he hides himself and looks at the repairing and construction of the road by the village headman and other workmen, and he was caught by the village headman, and when he argues with the village headman, he was put into the cellar by Bhima, a stout workman there. And then on the day when the king arrives, Mara jumps from the tree before the king, and he tells all the dream what he had. That he had a dream. In his dream, goddess had come who had tresses flying for the wind, and she was wearing a golden garment with lightning. So all that he explains, and he also tells what the goddess had told Mara. The goddess had asked Mara to go to the king and inform that the king must build a tank where river Veda will be collected. River Veda is a plaything of the goddess, and river Veda should be glading in the mountain. Within the mountain reach, she should not flow away from the mountain. This was the wish of the goddess, which came in the dream of Mara and told him to convey all these to the king. So in the next scene, what happens in scene 3, we'll start it today. We'll see here a tank is built. The king considers Mara's dream seriously, and he builds a tank according to Mara's and the goddess wish, and the tank is built by the king, and Mara is on a strict watch of the lake. So Mara takes the charge of looking after the lake. How to look after the lake? He is very strict. He is not allowing anybody to even fish there. Nobody is allowed to kill any animal under his surveillance. So he catches a hold of a man one day with a fishing rod and a basket with some fish. So he was doing his duty every day, and one day Mara finds that a man is fishing. He has come with his fishing rod and some fish in his basket. Now Mara was furious because he was doing the duty of protecting the animals which came around the lake. It was his duty which was given him by the goddess and ordered by the king. Now Mara was very furious. What he does, he warns him of serious consequences if he is found again. So he goes to the fisherman. He tells him that stop fishing here. Nobody is allowed to kill any of the animals near the lake, and it is my duty to protect each and every life. So he stops him, and whatever fishes were there, whatever he had already caught the fishes, he throws all those fishes back to the lake, and he scolds him. He warns him that the fisherman should not come again to this lake to fish. He says that the place is sacred and belongs to the goddess. This place is very sacred and it belongs to the goddess, and it is her command that no creature around there should be killed. Around the lake, no creature should be killed. This is the command by the goddess. So Mara warns this to the man. Towards the end of the scene, Mara notices thick clouds at the mountain top followed by heavy rain. So by evening, he finds that there were thick clouds. It was supposed to rain heavily. So thick clouds were forming, and also followed by heavy rain. The clouds started pouring. It was heavy rain there. So now Mara was a bit worried. It was not like the normal days when it rains. it was going to be very heavy and waters may flood. It was in that condition. So Mara was very much worried. What he does, he goes to the king. He runs to the king, because when he saw the clouds and evening, he thought everything will be all right by the morning. He goes and he sleeps in his hut. When he is sleeping, he had a dream again. So he was very much worried now. He runs to the palace. He did not even, the raining was not a matter to the person, to the watchman now. He runs and reaches the palace of the king, and then he is frantic. So he is completely in a confused state. He is completely wet, and he tells the king that a lake is about to burst owing to the torrential rain. Torrential means heavy rain. So he tells that the lake is about to burst. Why will it burst? Because it is raining heavily. The king was sleeping. Actually, when Mara goes there, the king will be sleeping. It was midnight, and he starts belling. Usually, you might have heard in stories that if there is problem in any kingdom, there will be a huge bell, and the person who has a problem can ring the bell. King will come along with his ministers and solve the person's problem. This is most common in the kingdoms in those days. So here Mara, he bells the ring and he calls the king to come up. And when the king comes, he sees that Mara was completely drenched in rain. His hairs were on his forehead and the water was dropping from his body. He understood that there is some emergency. So Mara has come in this condition. So Mara here tells that the lake is about to burst. Burst means the water is going to flow all over the villages surrounding the lake, and that is due to the torrential rain, the heavy rain. He narrates to the king what he had seen at the lake. So he also narrates what he saw in the lake. He had seen something. I told you he had a dream again when he was sleeping in his hut. What was that? That the goddess appeared before him. Again the goddess has come before him, and this time the tresses were wild. Her hairs were completely wild, blown. She was in angry, and her eyes gleamed with a strange light. This time it was not calm, it gleamed with a strange light. And she carried a sword in her hand. When will the gods and goddesses carry a sword? When they are going to kill any evil. Correct? So now she was holding a sword in her hand, and she said she would now destroy the tank, and Veda was her plaything. So this time she said that she is going to destroy the lake. Last time what she said? That a lake, the tank should be constructed. This time she says Veda is my plaything. I have created her. Veda is my plaything, and now this time I am going to destroy the lake, the tank. Completely I will destroy the tank. This time why goddess has become so furious? What has happened? She is not calm. She is not trying to save the people. So Mara was very much worried now. So his botheration was, what if the lake bursts? The water will flow into all the villages, even the capital of the kingdom. The people are going to die. The animals, cattle are going to die. So what he does, he runs to the king and narrates all what he has seen. So Mara tried to request her not to do that, but the goddess was persistent. So Mara, he could not sit quiet when he is seeing all this. What he does, he prays the god. He begs the god not to do so, but goddess was not persistent to that. She was very furious now. Later, he prostrated before her and begged her to permit him to inform the king about this. So what he does, he prostrated, means he bent himself and he begged the goddess that give him permission to inform the king about what is happening here. If the goddess is to burst the tank, let him inform the same to the king, so that king can do something to save the lives of his people. So what happens? she should wait for him until he returned. He says that she should wait until he returns. Once he returns, once she looks at Mara coming back, she can do whatever she wish. So she granted him the permission. So what permission? That she will wait until Mara comes back. Once she looks Mara coming back, she will burst the tank. So she agreed for this, and she permitted Mara to go to the king and inform him what is going to happen. Then Mara now suggests the king to avoid the catastrophe by making his return impossible. So what is the idea now? Can anybody stop the nature? We humans cannot stop the nature. We have seen many times that nature is beyond our control. We have seen floods, we have seen earthquakes, we have seen many natural disasters. Are we able to stop all those? No, it is beyond human capacity, human ability. So here what the king can do, king also was very much worried now about the solution. So Mara had a solution. What solution was that? To make Mara not to return back to the place. What was the promise by the goddess? That she will wait until Mara comes. After Mara returns, only then she will burst the tank. So what is Mara's idea? That not to let Mara go back. How it should be done? That is by killing himself, by cutting the head of Mara. If Mara is dead, he can't go back. If he doesn't go back, the goddess will be waiting for Mara. It is a promise by the goddess, and the goddess cannot break the promise. So here what is the idea given? To cut off the head of Mara. But will the king agree for this? Because king knew Mara was protecting the lake, how well he was doing his duty. Because of that lake, the tank, the people were getting water, the cattle were getting water, the creatures were live, the nature was so beautiful, everything was going good because of Mara, because he was protecting the tank. So king did not agree, but Mara forces him, insists him to do so. Otherwise, many people will be killed because of the flowing of Veda, the floods of Veda. So Mara also requests that his son should be the next watchman. His son should be placed as the next watchman after his death, and his son, so it should continue for generations, that Mara's family will be protecting the lake. So that was the request by Mara to make his son's son and their son as successors to watch the tank. So this was agreed by the king. What happens next? So next is scene 5, where Ganga. Who is Ganga? Ganga is Mara's son. So Mara's son Ganga is seen with his son at the shrine built for his father. So Ganga calls his son. The scene starts like this. Ganga calls his son, "Son, where are you? Come here. It is very important day today. Where are you?" So his son runs to him and tells, "I was just playing here." The Ganga, he wants that every Tuesday and Friday is a special day and you should be here near the shrine. Whose shrine it is? That is the shrine of Mara. Mara's shrine is built up by the king now. The king builds the shrine, and also there is a practice that every Tuesday and Friday the shrine and the river Veda is worshipped. People from near and far places come there on that occasion and they worship the god and the shrine, because it was the sacrifice of Mara which has protected the village and the capital of the kingdom. If Mara had not sacrificed, if he had returned, goddess would burst the tank and the river would flood everywhere and it would kill the people, many people, cattle and all the creatures which came across the river, the floods. So because of the sacrifice of Mara, a shrine is built by the king, and that shrine and river Veda are worshipped every Tuesday and Friday. So Ganga was son of Mara. Now he was the watchman of the lake. He explains to his son the significance of the shrines and the story behind it. So that story, how Mara made the tank to be built, how the goddess came in Mara's dream, and then second time when the goddess came, what happened, how Mara sacrificed his life, why he did so, all that is narrated by Ganga to his son now. And he also reminds him that the duties of watching the lake pass on from Ganga to his son and the following generations. So, Ganga tells his son that this duty of guarding the tank will be to our generation. So, all our generations has to protect the tank. So, this is the folk belief, folk story or what happened with Mara and his children. So, here Mara's life, though Mara was innocent, he was not educated, he acted like a fool. What has he done? He has done a great thing for the society. He is an example for the society. We need to protect our natural resources. So, he has set very good example. This is how R.K. Narayan writes. It feels like as if we are hearing somebody who is narrating the story next to us, or it is experience of somebody among us. So, that is what R.K. Narayan is unique. So, it will be the conversation of people, interaction of the people, whatever they do in their daily life, the same is written in his novels. Okay, this was all about the summary. Next, we'll go through the question answers. Why was the headman in a hurry to complete the road work? Why? Because the king was arriving. The king was supposed to arrive the next day, so the headman was in a hurry. How did Mara manage to draw the attention of the king and why? He jumped from the tree. Why? Because he had to convey the dream he saw about the goddess. Goddess had given him a task to do, that is, convey that a tank should be built for river Veda. Correct? So, this is the answer. How does the king respond to Mara's information about the tank? So, Mara's dream was considered serious by the king and he agrees to build a tank. Very soon, he builds a tank too and makes Mara as the watchman of that tank. Why did the visitor approach Mara? Here one more thing happens, that is, once the fisherman comes there, he was scolded by Mara. He goes and then a visitor comes to Mara telling that his region is, means the people and the cattle are parched, means their throat is drying out because of scarcity of water. Can he do something to fill water for them? Then Mara had promised that visitor that definitely he will do something. He will help him build a tank and stop the flowing water and use it for the domestic purposes. So, the visitor comes here asking help from Mara to build a tank in their place. On what condition did Mara make the goddess wait for him? What he did? He took the promise or permission from the goddess that until he returns, goddess should not burst the tank. So, this was the condition laid by Mara or the request made by Mara to which goddess permits him. What was the significance of Mara's dream? The significance is that in the first dream, it is that the tank has to be built and should stop Veda within the mountain ranges. And in the second dream, it was to burst the tank, but this time he somehow requested and managed to do it, and it was his sacrifice that the tank did not burst, the goddess did not burst the tank, and people are living happily. So, this is about the two dreams he had, the significance of two dreams that Mara had. Next, we will see the long answer type questions. What was the significance of Mara's dream? Here you have to explain both the dreams, first dream and the second dream. What happens in first dream? What all he sees there? How was the goddess in the first dream? What did she tell Mara? And in the second dream, how she looked? This time she was not calm. That should be mentioned. And what did she order or command to Mara? That should be written in detail because this is long answer type question. What instructions did Mara give his son about the lake and the creatures? So, what he gives that all the creatures, lakes should be protected, should be guarded by their generations. This was informed to Mara's son Ganga. And then what light do these instructions throw on Mara's character? So, it tells that Mara he was protecting the natural resources, and he dedicated his life for the guarding of the lake, and also he has set an example for the society to preserve and protect the natural resources. All these you have to write in detail for this question. How did Mara react to goddess when she appeared before him? Here also you have to write both the incidents, first time and second time. First time he agrees what goddess says to Mara about to convey the message to the king and to build a tank. He does that. The tank was built. He conveyed the message. The king built the tank. And in the second dream, it was that she was about to burst the tank, but he takes permission that he will inform the king and come back. Only after he comes back, the tank must be burst. This time he goes to the king, tells everything to the king, and also asks the king to cut off his head, because if Mara returns back, the goddess is going to burst the tank. If he doesn't go, she will be waiting for Mara to come back. So these two you have to mention in your answer. Write this in detail, not exceeding 80 words. Okay. This is all about the play by R.K. Narayan, Watchman of the Lake. So we learned that we need to preserve, protect our natural resources. It is the duty of every human being on the earth. Every creature's duty is to preserve and protect the natural resources. That's all for today, and we'll make in the next session with one more lesson. Until then, take care, bye-bye, and thank you.